Pam with Arts and Medicine. I am going to be doing an art instruction video. This is watercolor circles with an optical illusion background made with Sharpies. You should all have these materials. We have paper, a napkin, your paintbrush, a Sharpie. You need one of the hospital issued styrofoam cups to trace with. I have water in my Piggly Wiggly cup to clean my brush between colors. And this is the finished product. What I've done is I have drawn with the big side, open side of the cup. In a few places, I intentionally went off the page on this just to give it a little movement. So we'll get started making this. So what you need is your clean watercolor paper. And with watercolor paper, there's one side that's slick and smooth, and there's one side that's a little bumpy. You want to paint on the bumpy side. So we'll move that out of the way, and we'll start a new one. So I want you to place the cup. You don't have to go off the page, but I like to. And we're gonna trace with the Sharpie really slowly and carefully. If you make a mistake, like your lines cross or aren't even, that's okay, because when we're doing the optical illusion on the other side, after we finish painting them, we can correct all these mistakes. So there's one. I'm gonna put one down here. Just go slow. And then one way over here. So just 3 of those circles for this project, and then I'm going to put it bottom side down and make a few smaller circles, and I'm just going to do 3 of those. So like that one's not perfect, but I can come back in, tighten it up a little bit, and after they're painted and the background is done, nobody will know, so don't sweat it if they're not perfect. I promise you we can fix them. Well, there's a good example of having an open line, but so when we come back in and do these lines, that'll just be one line going to another circle. So, problem solved. And just one more. Okay, today is my day for mistakes. That's all right, I'm gonna go with it. I'm not gonna start over, I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna stick with this thing until it's done. All right, so for the next step, we want to get out our watercolors, and you should have your set in front of you. Basics of watercolor is you want to add the water to the dry little pans of color. I know that this is probably a lot more than you have. I don't have the set that you guys were given. This is an old set that's probably 10 years old, or maybe even more. It was a gift to one of my kids. I put in their stocking. They never really used it that much, and so they're a great investment. So I have used these. So what I'm going to do when we're making artwork that is for relaxation purposes, I want you to look at the colors and put out of your mind any color that might be, that it's your favorite color. Well, today it may not be your favorite color. The first color that is attracting me, just let your eyes just run over the colors. This is intuitive based art making. And the first color that's really speaking to me is this beautiful mossy green up here. Maybe like a jade green. And I'm gonna put water in it, not super tons, but enough to get it really flowy on my brush. You see how I'm sort of making a paste? And the more times you do this, the denser, the richer the color is going to be. And I'm just going to start here and kind of do some color blobs. I'll change colors now. And the next color I'm going to put in is this deep blue. And just go through the whole process of getting all that pigment on my brush. And I'm going to let the colors run together and blob over each other and mix a little bit. The next color I'm feeling is this deep purple right here. Come in and put a little bit. You can also, if you've got some on your brush, hold it over the circle and kind of make some dots. It'll blend the colors together. It's kind of a cool thing. You'll see that some can get on the paper. In the end, you will not notice it because we're going to put so many lines down. And now I'm going to go to this turquoisey blue right here. Or royal blue. I don't know. I'll come back in and put it over here too. That's my little sphere of color. I like that one. I might, if it looks a little dull, I'm gonna get some of this yellow and kind of come in a couple of places just to sort of mix the colors. So that's pretty cool. Looks like, a planet from space, or a view of the Earth, a topographic map. So this next one, once again, you look at your colors, and I want this beautiful fuchsia. We'll put down a big blob. I want this reddish orange. I want some more yellow. See how I put extra water and the colors sort of, kind of move together, which is a really nice effect. I put a little of this green right in here, pink and green, good combination. And then some of this orange, just to sort of put up at the top. There, that's the second one. I'm going back to this deep rich blue. Apparently I like that color today. I'll do a little green. The orange. I always love to add a bunch of yellow to colors. Sometimes I can just do that. See how cool that looks? Kind of a little tie-dye effect. Little stars. Oh, well, that's a good idea. Now I've mentioned stars, I'm thinking of a kind of a space galaxy landscape. So I'll do some black with fuchsia. Purple. I'll get some more black. And this kind of reddish pink over here. And so for this one, get a little bit of yellow. And I'll put those little dots over it. It ought to look pretty cool. Just like that. And going back to that blue, that seems to be my color for the day. You may find that you just keep using the same color over and over. It's green. And this weird greenish blue. Let those mix in. You can dab it a little bit too, gives it more of a feathered effect, you know. It's just like a beautiful little planet. All right, so for this one, let's see. So I'm gonna go for this orangey red. And orange. This light fleshy pink. I mean, you probably don't have it, but something sort of beige. Ooh, I like that. I'll put some more down here. If you have too much water on your brush, you can just dab it on your napkin. Breaking up those straight lines. I don't like them in there, so I'll just sort of smudge it out if I don't like it. A couple of this pink around. Very atmospheric planet. All right, so that part's done. The only thing we need to do is blot up a little bit. I've got way too much water right there. Sort of flatten my paper down. I'm gonna get a little more black on my brush. I had too much water on it, and I might just, where I blotted it, I might come back in and put some more black. These will dry a little bit brighter than they are now, so don't be discouraged if your spheres, circles look a little dull. Okay. So the next step is you should have a Sharpie. This part's going to take a while, but I encourage you to finish this. If you get halfway through, you could save it and finish doing the intricate background work for another time. It is very meditative, and it should provide you with, you know, a calming, soothing, focused effect for your mood. It really is just as good as sitting meditation. So we'll start to do this optical illusion. I'm going to start down here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run probably a pattern up that way. So just think, if I run a pattern up through here, then I can go off in two different directions, and it's going to create a feeling of depth and movement, an undulating effect. So the first thing, the way you can start out to practice, is just put your Sharpie on the line that you drew for the circle, and just with a slight curve to it, just come all the way down to the bottom of the page. And then just right next to it, you're just going to make parallel lines straight down. About 5 or 6 of them. And then maybe do the next line, curve it the opposite way. Do you see that? Keep repeating that same repetitive curve all the way up until the edge of the page. And then, let's see, maybe we'll do some curved lines this way. And you know, I mean, I just messed up there. I don't care. Just keep going. All your mistakes are going to be hidden in the chaos of all the different lines going different directions. So, and sometimes you can even come in later. You could add dots to a few little lines like that. Just to give it even more definition, intricacy. And so this is my mistake that I made, and you may have made one too. So grab that mistake and make it a line. And no one will ever know that it was there. And we're just gonna connect these two. And then we're going to be working this way, so from here, maybe think about taking a line there. Do a couple of more. So when you do these big sections, this is a time where, you know, it's going to take up a lot of the background. And then in a minute, I'm going to show you my fast moving little, they look like little shells to me. This is when you want to hurry along and it happens really fast and it's fun. So if you get super bored, you can move on to that one. I'll show you the shell pattern now. So I've made about 3 lines, curved lines parallel to each other, running that way from that corner. And so now we have a little dip right here. So you're going to do the same thing. You're going to come out from that point, 3 lines, and you'll see you'll have a little dip right here, and you can just keep going with this. And now I have my dip here. Just make another shell. And I have one here. And so this one ends in an awkward place. So I will put a little line there and pretend like it went behind those other lines and do that. See? And now you'll have to figure out where you would have those. So that's good enough. And you can just keep going on with repeating those 3 lines. Sometimes it's really cool to put in 4. It's going to change the dynamic a little bit. Just leave it like that. Maybe put a little mark right here. Just use your eyes, use your imagination to make new patterns. So I'm probably going to keep going with this all the way up here. Let me see if I can show you another pattern. Let's see. Let me block off this section right here. I have done little sections of just doing various sized little circles. It looks terrible and scary at first. Some are little, some are bigger. They're like little pebbles, you know? You see how I'm varying the size? And you just keep filling in. And it never looks good at first until you get the whole thing done. So be patient. And just fill in that whole section of little circles. So that's a pattern. So we have straight lines, decorative lines. We want to curve our lines. We have those little shells and then the pebbles. Let's see what else I can show you. This one right here is a lot of fun. I really kind of plan to have this sort of black background, one kind of running up the center this time. So I'll start it off like this. Let's see. And then I'll do a few lines down this way. And so that would probably be a good one to go ahead and color in black. The reason I started this pattern is because I made a big mistake and I colored it in, and that was really scary because I was like, do I want a big black hole in my paper? So I just repeated it throughout, and it was actually my favorite pattern that I did that all started out with a mistake. And so you just keep repeating the patterns in different shapes, connecting the planets. So all these with the black holes in them are going to be straight lines at different angles. Now I could color in this little section. Another thing I could show you, I liked how I did this. It looks like that planet is just being pulled down. I thought that was kind of cool. Let's see where we can put that in here. I'll have to do it on this one. So I could start sometimes when your spacing is too far apart, you can just go ahead and stick another line in there. Your eyes will show you. I took that mistake. And when you get over to the edge of the paper, you always want to, completely go off the paper. Because if it stops a little short, it'll catch your eye. But basically, those are the few techniques. So we're probably going to fast forward here, and I will show you my end result in a minute. whole design. If you just stick with it, it'll all come together. You know, if you don't, that's fine too, but it will give the best optical illusion effect if you go ahead and finish all of it. And I'm going to lift it up and show you a few of the designs. Anyway, good luck with your piece and have a great day. Bye.